It's loading. We're live now. What is up, Syrvivor Syracuse? I'm not Luke. I'm not Andrew, but I am Mike commenting on my own season right now. I am going to host today. We had a little bit of scheduling issues, but it's all okay. I have with me two lovely guests. I have with me our beautiful ex-former vice president, Mel, now graduated. How you doing,
Hello.
Mel?
I'm doing fantastic. Yeah.
That's awesome. And I also have with us Ethan from University of Maryland. How are you doing, Ethan?
What's going on? Thanks for having me. It's pretty
Love,
sweet.
love to have you here. We had a pretty deep, pretty long episode today, so let's get right into it. We start right away with the fallout of the past body tribal. And I believe Owen says that Gabby made sense. It was nice and easy. But then the confusion came with the who voted Holly. So what would you guys think there?
You can go first.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I saw from the little notes thing that it was kind of done to maybe steer away if there was an idol plate or something. Always kind of a smart move. I think they were a little confused because it was Madison, right, who did that, and
Yeah.
And weren't they thinking about like Madison being the other person? So it's kind of all going. It was a lot to take in, but it's interesting play by her. Interesting play.
Owen, I believe, said it can't be Madison because she was worried about getting votes, but it actually was, in fact, Madison.
I mean, I feel like Owen is definitely just exuding confidence in every block. Like, even when he might be wrong, which obviously, like, he is there. In terms of, like, what I thought of the gameplay by, like, Madison voting for Holly, I feel like it was just so early in the game. I feel like it's not really, like, putting anyone's panties in a bunch. It didn't really do anything. So it's not like harmful, but I feel like it didn't really do much in my opinion. Unnecessary overplaying, maybe. I don't know, but
it's funny too because on the previous post show when they were talking about how she threw the hinky vote, they were like, everyone finds out how you vote anyway after the fact, so it doesn't even matter. Like, she's gonna get exposed. Yet everyone's saying it's Jason. Jason's the one that threw the vote.
Yeah, I feel like people thought that it was Jason because at this point in the game, I think someone voting wrong is less of a like game move and more like, oh, you're just out of the loop and misinformed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably why they thought it was Jason, because he's the epitome of like minimal effort and like, I don't know, just like his head is in another level. But that's probably why they thought
it seems like his camera time has been is minimal so far. So that, I mean, based on that from an outside perspective, like obviously you could see why Owen thought that way.
Hey, but Jason Ding is always king.
King Jason Ding. Love that guy.
Okay, and then we get right into the challenge. The challenge is called Mind, Body, Soul. It's supposed to use your mind and your body and your soul and all the different parts of it. The first part, the first stage, it's the math, and it's a little throwback to Token Sheen's Final 7, I believe. I am weird for knowing that, but don't worry about it. I believe this is Challenge Steven Fishback one where you have to memorize the signs and do the math. Adam mentioned it later in a confessional, but what do you think of each person's approach, Molly, Joe, and Adam, and how they decided to do it? Joe went all in one go. Adam was trying to do his memorizing thing, but didn't read the rules.
Yeah. I was at that challenge, like hiding out in the corner because like I had just like whatever recovered, and I just remember being like, okay, first of all, Joe absolutely demolished it, like killed it, like that was amazing. I think Molly did as one would do, like she did a good job, like fine, and then Adam just absolutely shot the bed, but like going into like later in that week at the time, like not watching the episode at the time, I remember being like, oh, he totally did that purposefully because he got the advantage and all that. But as watching the episode, I was like, oh, he really actually messed it up. Like, cause he just like, because I was like, why would you put yourself in jeopardy like that just for an advantage? But he messed it up on his own. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with at this point, there were 19 people left. Like, you don't need to make excuses for people to vote for you. And I mean, he wanted it to do that fishback strategy, memorize the for the 1, 2, 3, 4, but clearly didn't pay off.
Yeah. Ironically, too, Adam says he's the one who didn't read the rules, but he's the only one, assumingly, who saw on question 12 to find the advantage in the torch, because both Joe and Molly finished way before him and had time to get it if they wanted to, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think of that, Adam getting the advantage just in general?
So, yeah, I'll go ahead. Sorry, Mal. If I were in his position, maybe because he's not doing well in the challenge, he went for it. But like, out in the open advantages early in the game, never a good thing. You don't need it if you find yourself to be in a good spot in your tribe. And I mean, Adam seems like he's socially aware and whatnot. So definitely not ideal for him. But I think, based off what the episode showed, nobody saw him get it. So, and he's obviously here to live another day. So definitely a win for him. But I think that the margin for error there is huge. So good to see it paying off.
Yeah. I mean, if he's going to mess up the challenge that badly, at least he's getting an advantage out of it, because as we saw with Gabby, messing up one challenge can carry into weeks in advance, not just like weeks after, but like, I don't know what happens next challenge. If everyone plays well, they might just go back to Adam messing up this challenge and go for him next week. So he's going to need at least an advantage, like steal a vote in his defense. But,
yeah. I would say it was at least a pretty worthwhile advantage too. A steal vote's always a 2-vote swing. So yeah, it can be very useful in some situations.
Yeah. It would have sucked if he went and got the advantage and then it was just some nonsense advantage that just did nothing. But
steal vote is great. Steal vote is a great advantage.
No, definitely.
Mm-hmm. But then next phase, we got the cup throwing. I personally was like, I'm not doing that. I'm suck at basketball or shooting related things. I was like, I'm going to the next part.
You like were in the challenge. Like you played the season.
I was. It's crazy.
Wait, question, because we were just talking about it before. What did you think about the Holly vote? Because you were on body.
The Holly vote, I knew about. Madison told me she was going to throw a hinky vote to Holly just to save herself. And I was like, yeah, I get that. Totally fine.
Okay.
So I was actually watching because after the challenge, when we were walking away together, like the body tribe, we were like, I was with Holly and Madison and Owen, and we were like, I wonder who put that vote on you and stuff. And Holly was like, I think it was Jason. I don't know. I haven't been the greatest vibes from him. And then Madison is just over there quiet. I'm like, oh my.
Do you know if you were the only person who Madison told that?
I don't know if I was the only person.
I mean, my vibe from her is that like she's very thoughtful. Like she seems like she's a good player, and if you have that information in your pocket, knowing that she's thinking it through like that, that's pretty valuable moving forward.
And we can talk about Madison for a bit because when I played with her, she was one of my close allies. But we saw her a lot throughout this episode. She was very, very pivotal with body. She found an idol. She had that relationship with Adam, who told her about his advantage now.
Yeah. How did she foster that relationship? How did her and Adam, like when, how? What? I don't know.
My main assumption is Madison reached out. Madison was very, very proactive in creating relationships, I feel. So there was both of them were very big fans of the show too. They probably knew like what's the deal, what you have to do is socialize. I didn't know they were allied at all during the game. So that was something fun to find out.
Wow. Yeah. I feel like maybe in the first episode, I don't remember if it was Madison. Like someone said that like they knew Adam from Citrus and they didn't acknowledge it. And it might have been Madison. And that might have been how they got connected, but I forget.
We have a lot of TRF kids. Like I know Ryan was BDJ. Lindsay was in class with Ryan. I was BDJ at the time. Madison was TRF.
Well, also Lindsay and Ryan Baker are like besties. They're in same fraternity. Mm-hmm. So that was just like the whole thing. But
Back to Madison, though, Ethan, what do you think about her episode again?
I mean, I think this episode was an absolute win for her. I mean, she got Adam to reveal an advantage to her without her even like asking, which is pretty huge. Whenever that happens, you know you're in with that person, and like maybe Adam feels like it's the right reason, and it's really hard to say unless you're in his position and you're like know what's going on in his head. But it's so early to tell people about an advantage, and I know they're not in the same tribe, and maybe they're looking for a connection for if there's a swap. But come on, like, don't tell people about your advantages. It can help, but the risk versus reward is just so. At this point in the game, it's just not worth. Like maybe wait until you swap and you're on the same tribe together. But come on, Adam, keep it to yourself, my guy.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. I feel like that was sort of silly on Adam's part. Obviously, huge win for Madison. Also, finding the idol and making sure that Owen didn't even know when they Owen's convinced Holly has it and Madison's just chilling with it. Incredible. Yeah.
Definitely. Real quick, back to the challenge. We had the cup throwing, then we had the word puzzle. Me and Holly solve it as us awesome body people do. And now Mind and Soul are on their way to Tribal. They got a double Tribal this week. Right after the challenge, the quick reaction and confessionals, we hear Becca say Adam's the most likely to go right off the bat because he messed up the challenge. And obviously, I feel like that's the easy thinking you typically. At the start of a Survivor season, it's like challenge performance. But is it always good to go off challenge performance?
Definitely not. I don't think so. I mean, sometimes obviously, like I think we're in this was week 3, so like weeks 1 and 2, like maybe it's more likely that happened with Gabby last week, but I think especially because a swap could be coming up, you can't just be thinking about challenge performance because you're about to not even be on the tribe with those people. So I think it was smart for Soul to get Becca instead of Adam personally, because Becca was scheming sort of hard, had a lot of strong opinions. I feel like wasn't afraid to backstab. I think it was smart of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you kind of have to weigh how you feel like socially within your tribe. Like if you see people that if the person who messed up, you see yourself working with them, you're not going to want to get rid of them. That doesn't make any sense. Who cares if you lose? If you have numbers, then you're not going to get voted out. So there's you got to find the balance, but
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like the point where like you have to think about, okay, if this person's good at challenges, I need to get rid of them because come merge, you don't want any of that. But
yeah. We go back to body real quick. We see Madison find the idol. We see Owen think Holly has it. And then Owen, we see his confessional where he insists Holly has it. And then he creates a rumor about Mike saying that he's trying to start an all guys alliance.
Yeah.
And I want to know what your guys' opinions on starting rumors like that, but in a small tribe setting. Because it could go very well or very bad, I feel.
With 19 people still in the game, that's like something that can just backfire on you. Overplaying this early it's a tough way to find yourself at the end. So I don't think you really just lay low, play it cool. I think that's how I would have chosen to ride this out. But who knows?
Yeah, I think that was really ballsy of him. Like, I get what he was doing. I don't disagree with the move, but I personally would never do that in that stage in the game. I think there's more risk than reward, I think, at that point. I don't know, personally. I respect it, though, because I guess it did cause a little bit of chaos. But, Mike, I want to know your perspective, because he's literally, like, snaking you.
I heard about this. I believe it was through Joe or Madison. I don't know. I heard about it through the one of them. And when I heard that, obviously I was not happy. And I was kind of like, anti-Owen at that point just because I needed, and that's what really like sparked paranoia for me in the season was hearing that from Owen first. That was my big trigger to start. I was like, okay, people are charging me now. I'm playing. I'm in.
Yeah, naturally. Yeah. But I'm like confused also as to like, so he told Holly first, but then obviously as it would get around to the other guys who didn't hear about you saying that, they're gonna know it's a lot. Like they're gonna know it's a lie.
Yeah,
I just feel like it could have been a little more thought through. I don't know.
Joe has a confessional where he says, Owen told me, or apparently Holly was talking to Owen, and Holly told me that Mike wants to start an all guys thing. Joe didn't hear about that because I didn't tell him I want to start an all guys thing.
Yeah.
So I'm curious of what Joe thought. Like with, well, actually, he said he thought that's good for me because I'll be in that. So I guess he just thought I wasn't reached out to yet.
Jeez.
That's hilarious. And from what I've seen of Joe so far, that man looks like he's a character. And I know he hasn't had to put his foot forward with gameplay stuff yet, but he seems like he is going to be worth watching. So we'll see. I don't know.
Yes, Joe and Joe have gotten close through the production side of this. He's been doing some production too. I love Joe. But next, body was a pretty simple. We're not going to tribal. Now we have mind, and we come up to mind, and we start off with Colin, and they have their Fab Five alliance of Colin, Lydia, Kevin, Molly, and Carl. Sabrina's the odd man out there, and Colin thinks easy thing, 5 versus 1, we'll just get Sabrina out. Yeah. Obviously, that's not the case. We hear when we find out Lydia's talking of possibly keeping Sabrina. What do you guys think of that?
I mean, Lydia she's killing the game. Like I think her social game is just like right there, and her analytical game is right there, just because she has all these her feet in a bunch of different little alliances. Everyone knows she's playing hard, but no one really has like a concrete clue about what exactly she's doing. So I think if she wants to keep Sabrina, like she snaps her fingers and happens because she has everyone in her ear. And I was happy for that because I like Sabrina. So I didn't want her to see her go. So I was happy with it.
Yeah, I don't really have too much of a take on this. It was kind of early in the episode, you lose track of some things. But yeah, Lydia's definitely in a good position. I think we saw that develop throughout the first two episodes leading into this. I mean, everyone kind of just wants to work with her. Who knows why? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, Colin thought he was in a good spot, and sometimes that's just how Survivor goes. You think you're in a good spot, and you're not, and it's the game.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of Colin, he's in the waiting room right now. We'll get him, since we're talking about him, we'll get him in right now. Colin, welcome to the stream. How are you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
What's going on?
I'm doing great. Why don't you start us off by just talking us through your week, or just like that week in general?
All right. Well, I was like, obviously we had like the Fab Five group, so I was like that's pretty like rock solid. So let's just like do that. And obviously I didn't know anything that was going on like behind the scenes at all. So I didn't think anyone was actually like starting to go after us like within that alliance. So I was just like I was on cruise control basically.
I have a question. Did you think that it was like sort of suspicious that you were just riding with like a 5-person alliance out of a 6-person tribe? Like, did you think like, oh, there's probably something smaller, like tighter going on that I'm not a part of? Or were you just like really comfortable not thinking about it?
Well, I didn't really want it. I didn't think about it at first, but like I think it showed in the first episode. I think me, Molly, Carl, and Lydia had like a 4-2, and they had in Kevin. But yeah, I definitely would have like. I don't think I had really like a solid like one person to one person like relationship. I talked a lot with like Carl and Lydia, but I just didn't like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Was there? You said you didn't have like a solid one person, but were there people you were leaning more towards or away from?
I love Kevin. He's like mad funny. He was like mad fun to be around, but we didn't really talk a lot. We like FaceTimed like maybe once a week, and then I talked with Lydia and Carl a lot actually, but I was like I wanted to move with them further, but that didn't really work out. And then Sabrina, I didn't talk to like at all until like an hour before the vote, so we didn't really like have a relationship at all either. So yeah, and then I swear I thought Molly like hated me, like she would never like every text like I just felt like I don't know, I didn't get good vibes.
Well, also,
Oh, yeah.
weren't people like throwing Molly's name out this week? And did you consider voting for Molly and not Sabrina?
No, I was never gonna vote for anyone different, but I think what happened was that Sabrina said Molly like to me just so that I wouldn't like know that obviously she was gonna vote for me. But I was
Gotcha.
never gonna actually vote for like Molly or anything like that.
I see.
Mhm.
I see.
Yeah, it's crazy for me, and I guess this is good for Mike for your sake, but it's crazy to me. I like no one has seriously considered getting out any of the returners yet, which
I know.
it's like too easy. It's too easy to do, and there's 3 tribes, all have been to tribal council, and not one of the 3 have even thought about it. I mean, I guess you're saying that Molly's name was used as like a kind of a scapegoat, fake plan, but I mean, it was never considered as a real plan.
No, I think like the only names I really heard thrown out were like Jen and Sabrina, and then obviously they were going for me, and then Molly was just like kind of like a bluff name, like no one was actually gonna go for her. I mean, for me, I watched season 1, and she got out like right where I got out, like 3rd, so it wasn't like she was like I guess like Mike ended up coming like whatever 3rd, so she was kind of like a whatever. I don't know if what I'm just saying made any sense.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah,
there
no.
at all like any returner talk on your tribe? Because like how Owen created the rumor about me on my tribe, was there anything of that sort of people trying to target Molly at all, or was it just like your Fab Five alliance at first, and then your week it was you and Sabrina between?
Yeah, I mean, I like the only thing that I had, like, I don't think me and you ever even met Mike, and then like
No.
Ryan like followed me on Instagram, and I didn't talk to him at all either. And then Molly was just like, Molly seemed like just a regular person. Like we just treated it like there was no talk of like any attorney or like whatever.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you wish you could have done differently, or anything if you got a second chance that you would do differently?
If I had a second chance, I would literally do every single thing I did differently. Like I'm not even kidding. Like I was so like set on the strategy of like just like laying low and like not doing anything, and I was like clearly just not a good move because everyone else was playing like right from the get-go.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else you want to share with us? Any last words you have?
No. Thank you
Any
for
moths you
having
want
me.
to eat?
What?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said, any moths you want to eat for us or nah?
No. Yeah, I'll have my fun fact that I've eaten 2 moths before. So.
Wow.
How'd that happen?
It was for a bet. I had to do it.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on, Colin. It was great talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
Yep.
Nice talking to you guys.
All right.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Thank you, Colin.
Really good.
That was Colin. So now moving on from the Mind Tribe, we get our first look into an arc split, which is our 3 tribal RA alliance between Holly, Kevin, and Cassidy. Just first opinions on that. What do you guys think?
I mean, good for them for coming together, and they're all on different tribes, if I'm not wrong. So that's huge. If there's a swap or something, they have people that they know they can pull in to have an alliance. And the worst way, in my opinion, of getting out in Survivor, it's not even getting like idled out or anything. It's just getting a bad tribe swap. So because you could have the best game going in your life, and you get a horrible swap, and then that's it. So just knowing people on the other tribes, a good good insurance. It makes you feel a lot better about maybe the uncertain future of the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're in like a golden position in terms of, because that's always the biggest thing is like, say you get into the merge and you have minimal connections, and then you're obviously at the bottom of the totem pole. They're going to have a profile in everyone already. Not like no one's going to be unfamiliar face in terms of knowing their game because you're going to have all this intel. And then just, sorry. If all three of them like make it to the merge, there's no way that they're not gonna dominate it because of all of that intel and all the connections. They're in prime position.
Yeah, I mean there is potential for some. I mean you can't be friends with them forever in the game, so it could be like a who decides to pull the trigger on flipping first, but for now it's good. It could make things sticky later. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see which one of them deters from the group first.
And then within this NARCS meeting that we have, Kevin dropped some hot clocks on some people. He says two things: Carl and Molly are getting too close, and he says he wants to get close with Lydia, but she's a snake. So, what do you guys think of Kevin right now as a player?
I mean, definitely a great social player. That's definitely his biggest strength, is how likable he is. And I think sometimes he could come off as like, oh, I'm not really thinking about stuff. I'm just having a fun time, which people might like in terms of aligning with him. But I think he's doing well in the Mind Tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems like everyone loves Kevin, and it's always good to have everyone love you. And that's definitely a better reason to stay in. Like, it's definitely going to help you stay in more than being good strategically and running the show. Like, you might be controlling stuff, but that's going to put more of a target on you than just if you're just a likable person. So
yeah, social game most important in my opinion. Out of the three, like mind, body, soul, like soul more important. But
yeah, as a viewer watching Kevin, I just get so impressed by his ability to like have reads on people. And it's like he had one car ride with Molly and Carl, and he was like, they're closer than they are with each other than they are with me. And he's like, I know. And he's able to, while he's getting close with Lydia, he's still able to fish out. She's a strong player. She's playing really hard, and she's kind of sneaky, and she knows what she's doing. So, Kevin, kudos to you. And we see one of the people in Jeopardy, Sabrina. She's talking with Colin. They're both lying to each other's faces, saying, "Oh, it's gonna be Molly this week." And we're both like, "Yeah, it's Molly." But she also. But then we go to Molly, and Molly brings up everyone is scared about Lydia and how hard Lydia is playing. So that's the second time we hear about Lydia. So you guys mentioned briefly before Lydia, she's clearly a very strategically strong player, but do you think that she can go too overboard sometimes?
I think so. I think maybe she might get a little too excited about how many like strategic connections she has going that she might not like always think through how people are perceiving her. I guess it's a gap in the social game. And like if everyone talks to each other and realizes they all have these connections with her, it's going to catch up to her if she doesn't watch herself. And I think she's not past the point, like she's not over the deep end. Everyone's like, okay, she's got to go. Like people are noting it, but if she doesn't keep herself, like if she doesn't put herself in check soon, it's going to get to that point.
Yeah, I think a good mindset to have in especially college survivors, like most of the people playing this game are playing it because they're fans. Like you don't have random people signing up to play college survivor. You do have a few, and maybe they just want to have a new experience or whatnot. But a lot of people know the game, and they know from watching that being in a position like Lydia is not going to keep you around very long because people are going to have to eventually see that you're playing well, and then it's Survivor 101, like see ya. So maybe Lydia will be able to recognize that and perhaps maybe take a step back, or or maybe she won't. She'll go full steam ahead, and we'll see.
Yeah.
Yep. And then once again we get to it's just between Colin and Sabrina, and it's really that dynamic as who seems more expendable to the other four. And coming out of that segment, it seems like people are leaning Sabrina more so.
Yeah. What was I don't know if this was said in the episode. What was Lydia's reasoning for wanting Sabrina to stay more than Colin? Or was that, I don't know. Because wasn't it Lydia that first was like, no, I want Sabrina to stay. But like, why did
yeah, Lydia in the show was the first person to state that like I want Sabrina to stay with us four rather than Colin. I think I don't remember exactly why she said it. I don't know if there was a reasoning to it, but if there wasn't one explained, I'm gonna assume that it was Sabrina and Lydia made a connection, and that goes back to just social game, how important social game is too.
Yeah, I think didn't they? Now I'm remembering. I think they might have made a one-on-one alliance in the first episode. I think that was one of the things that Lydia said yes to, like one of the million. I think that might have been. When I think about it, okay, that was probably why she didn't say that then. But Lydia basically saved Sabrina like almost single-handedly. Like, because I feel like if no one said anything, they would have just went with Sabrina.
Probably, and kudos to Lydia, as we see, Sabrina stayed. She got her way.
Yeah.
And now we move on to Soul, where we come with Adam's abysmal challenge performance, but he does have that advantage with him. And there seems to be a lot of different alliances going on in the Soul Tribe, but the focal point of it all is Lindsay, Cass, and Ryan. You hear those three names a lot. What are we thinking about them?
I'm gonna go first.
I mean, Ryan definitely seems like he knows what he's doing. He's one of the turners. Yeah, I mean, Lindsay also seems like she's pretty level-headed. And the third was Cassie. Cassie. Yeah, I mean, the three of them seem like they know what they're doing together. Obviously, it was everyone. It was all of them, and then Becca and Jemiah were kind of the ones who didn't realize so much what was going on. And I mean, they got their stuff together right now for the first few weeks. So
yeah. I think, before we were talking about like returners, like you, Ryan and Molly, and like how they're being perceived. And I would say Ryan, out of the three of you, has the most grounds to be like outed, because at that point they had not watched your season, so they don't know how you did, so they don't know anything about you. And then Molly didn't do well, and like Ryan made it decently like far. So I feel like I'm surprised. I guess because he has Lindsay by his side, he's like his friend. He has like a little bit of someone else like socially like protect him in the tribe. But I'm impressed with how Ryan is just gliding through. No one's saying his name really, and then yeah, I guess the three of them are. I think they're coming up a lot because they are probably the strongest players on that tribe. Like Cass got like the narcs, and then Lindsay just has a good head on her shoulders in terms of like, the way she was talking about that whole like hangout they had as a soul tribe, and the way she was like breaking it down and analyzing it. Yeah, I think the three of them noticed that they're the strong players and stuck together, which is smart.
And I know none of them explicitly said it, but I mean the shield strategy is a good one, and I'm sure that's running through Lindsay and Cassidy's minds with staying with Ryan.
Yeah, and not only is Ryan just gliding through the tribe seemingly, but it seems like he has control based on what Adam said when talking to Madison about his advantage. He says if Ryan finds out about it and it doesn't fit into Ryan's plan, Adam was saying that Adam's done. So it seems like Ryan has a lot of control on the Soul Tribe. Yeah. Are we thinking the same thing?
I would agree, I guess. I mean, he's on Soul for a reason. I think he's definitely a really good social player, definitely a sociable guy, pretty funny. Yeah, I think he's doing really, really well as of now. I don't know. I think he's doing well, but also I think it's more on the rest of the people in Seoul that are also just like fumbling it in terms of just letting him, I guess, define their games. You gotta define your own game, you know.
Mhm. And then I also want to talk about big thing with Seoul is they had their Seoul hangout where initially they were saying no gameplay talk, but then as Lindsay does beautifully explain to us, there was not only gameplay talk, but it was spritz in here and there. We hear Becca talking about how she would drop into some people. We hear Zach throwing out alliances. And when you guys, if you're playing and someone says, let's have a hangout, but no game talk, are you thinking there's no game talk happening?
There's absolutely
Not a,
game talk happening there.
not a shot. Like I felt like if I showed up to like a group hangout and we said no game talk and I didn't talk about game, I would be the one left out and I'd be getting voted out because I'm not in the loop. Because obviously people are gonna talk. And yeah, I feel like their hangout was TikToks and game talk. Yeah, it must be sneaky too though because we're all there and you have to like sneak off and go do whatever. That's harder than hiding behind a phone. Like that's like more like real Survivor. Like when you're actually like there.
Zach lives in a South Campus apartment, and for people who don't go to Syracuse and don't know what South Campus like, the apartments are not big. Like you got a room and you got an upstairs, and that's basically it. So
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting to think just how they were discreetly talking about game.
Yeah, like the kitchen and the living room are the same room, and then upstairs is like the bathroom and the bedroom. So it's like no one's going upstairs unless they're going to the bathroom. It's like how they're all in one room. I don't understand really where side conversations were really happening, like incognito, but apparently there was many side conversations. But yeah, I don't know. And I think Becca seemed to have like rubbed Lindsay the wrong way there, which might have sealed her fate. But
yeah, I mean, it seemed like that was kind of going on since the get-go.
Yeah.
Becca, to me, was overplaying, but she didn't realize that wasn't the standard. So, like, she mentioned the most about her conversation stuff, and like people notice these things, and when they get noticed, they put the target on your back, and clearly it backfired on her this week.
Yeah, I think she was playing well, but I don't know. I think her social game was the most lacking part of her game because I think whenever she was trying to make something happen, I think her approach to things just rubbed, I think, a couple people just the wrong way a little bit, or just I think she came off a little intense. She was intense in her gameplay, but I think more of just her like as a person was coming off intense, and people were like, "Whoa, this girl, like, gotta go." I don't know. That's what it seemed like. But
yeah, I agree, and I feel like the move to get Becca out for the people in control, it made sense. Same with the move for Colin, for Lydia, it made a lot of sense. She was able to kind of engineer that, steer that. So going into next week, what are we thinking? What are our prospects on who's looking in a bad spot? Who's in a great spot?
Well, so just staying with Seoul, I mean, people still have Adam as a scapegoat to bring up his name. Oh, he didn't do well in that challenge. Why is he going to do well in the rest of them? And that could be a reason why he's still around. And I like Adam. I like the what I really that got me going. So I hope not. And he seems smart enough to use his steal vote in the right spot if he feels like using it will better his game. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, one thing about Soul Tribe is they're by far the best confessional givers on the season. I feel Adam, Lindsay, Ryan, Cass, Becca, like they're all just giving. They were giving us. I appreciate that from now a production standpoint.
Yeah, as Soul should, as the social people should. They should be giving the best vlogs. Yeah, I think if I were to do a power ranking, Adam is definitely on the low end of that. He has an uphill battle if they lose next week. But I don't think, like as Ethan was saying, I don't think it's over for him. It's not a done deal. He has an advantage. he knows Survivor well. He knows that he can finagle something to happen for him, but he's definitely not in a great position. I feel like Zach's not in a good position either. I don't know.
Well, I mean, also Adam did vote in the majority. Jemiah was the one who was the odd person out, so that's not good for him. I mean, that's also a good excuse. How he didn't vote for us. He didn't vote with us the last time. Let's get him out this time. So.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I forgot that Jemiah was the one that voted wrong. I feel like Jemiah is like the Kevin of the Soul Tribe. Everyone's just like, but I love him. Like, you know, everyone's just like, oh, but like he's so fun. Like, you know. But yeah, that's true. That could put him in trouble. Definitely Cass, Ryan, and Lindsay are doing well for the future as of now.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you guys give me for body, mind, and soul your number 1 on the tribe, and then your number 6 or number 5?
Okay.
I'm trying to think
I would put Lindsay top of soul, Adam bottom of soul for me.
And I mean, for soul, I think Jemiah voting with Becca probably puts him below Adam, so I'll put him on the bottom. And then, just because Cass has her Narc Alliance, I think I'll put her 1.
Fair. Forgot about that. Now I gotta think. Wait.
Yeah, I mean, my bottom for bodies, obviously, Mike. He sucks, right?
That Mike guy sucks.
He sucks at Survivor.
I'm joking. In terms of that, I mean, I don't even know.
Wait, I gotta like think for a second. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Madison, I put 1 because she is an idol and nobody knows, so that's good. And then bottom for body, you either got Owen, who might be spreading too much, too quickly, too early, or maybe Jason, who, according to you guys, just might not be present as much. So
he's just a icon. Love that guy. But okay, I would say I would also put Madison at the top because obviously she just had a great episode, like doing well. And then I would put I think Mike and Jason tied at the bottom because who knows how this whole like Owen nonsense like plays out, and then as you said yourself, like some paranoia does ensue. So I'm gonna tie you guys at the bottom of that.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
All right. Totally fine. Give your honest answers always.
Yeah.
And then, as far as mine goes, I think not necessarily the person who's playing the best, but I think the person in the best position to do well a long time in this game is Carl. Because Carl is in with Molly. He doesn't have the returner on over his head. Lydia's got a lot going on. She's in a good position right now, but we'll see later. And then same with Kevin. And then Sabrina's probably on the bottom just because she was debated to be.
Great point out with Carl. I forgot to mention this earlier. While the season was happening itself, I was such a Carl fan. Like Carl, I think is playing so well, and I'll give him his moment to shine now because we forgot to talk about him earlier. He is just playing a perfectly like positioned game in the tribe. Like he definitely has like all the analytics there and is like playing just as an analytical game as Lydia, but he's approaching it in a lot more passive way, which is obviously working out because Lydia is getting the brunt of all of this. Like she's playing so hard, but really Carl's right there with her, like brain wise, but is just so much more like. I think he's also my number 1 because of that. And I agree that like Meat Shield for Molly, like she's definitely more of a target than him overall. And then I guess bottom is also, I guess it's Sabrina definitely, but I feel like Lydia might be like second there. I feel like there might be like a brewing of like realization about her being a threat coming.
Yeah, if Sabrina understands that, I don't think it'll take much for her to rally some troops and expose some of the better players.
Because there's simply nothing Sabrina's done. She just happened to like get her name thrown out the first couple weeks. There's no actual like hard evidence against her for any reason. So that's easy. That's an easy hole to get out of.
All right. Next thing I want to move on to. I got not a lot. I have a couple superlatives listed out just to give out for this episode. So we'll start off with the MVP. Who is this episode's MVP? Did the most, like best position, got everything that they needed to do done.
I would say it's Madison, just because she found an idol and she didn't go to tribal, and she's in a good spot on her tribe. Like no complaints for her, I'm sure. And she got Adam tied around her finger. Got told the advantage from him. It's a good week. It's a good week to be Madison.
I was gonna say Madison as well. Like obviously, she didn't have to go to tribal, so she didn't really have to like evade getting voted out this week. But that's definitely an excuse for people to just like take the week off and not worry about stuff. But she was busy up in her game, getting those relationships going, getting her idol. So good for her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Next one we have is who was the flop of the episode, and you can't say Becca or Colin because they got voted out. Who's still in that screwed it up?
I think the flop. I think an easy choice is Adam, because he just put such a target on his back where there really just didn't have to be. That's just yeah.
Yeah, either that or I got to bring it up because it was in the episode. I see Zach was trying to spit some game and it didn't look like it was working. So
we didn't talk about
I forgot.
That's a pretty big flop. I don't know. We're all college kids. Shit happens, but sorry didn't work out, my guy.
That's so funny because I was watching the episode and I was like, damn, like the editing team said, no, we're putting this in. We're putting that in.
That exposed his shit.
Like that did not have to be in that in, but they said this is essential. And I love it. I love that they put it in. Yeah.
Anything goes. Anything goes in College Survivor, right?
Yeah. Okay, this is sorry to derail, but do we think there's going to be any showmance action this season at all? Because the past two had some showmance. So, do we think anything's a brewing?
Not that I know of.
Okay. All right. We'll see.
But, yeah, we'll see.
All right. Who had the best vlog this episode? Who was the most entertaining?
Yeah. Huh? What? I really? Yeah. It had to be Adam for me. Entertaining guy for sure. Want to see him stick around a little bit longer.
I just love Jemiah. Like he wasn't even in the vlog he wasn't even in the episode that much, but just every time he's on the screen, like I love that in this episode it was like on TikTok. You guys saw the TikTok?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Also, everyone should go check out Jemiah's TikTok. That's how he got casted. He stood out on TikTok being recruited.
That's awesome. You never know. You never know how you'll get recruited for Survivor.
That guy's just a complete clown, and I'm gonna say him, even though he wasn't really having much FaceTime in this episode.
Oh, shout out to Paul for that suggestion, and also shout out to Paul for this suggestion. Who had the best look this episode? Who's sporting a fit?
I didn't even think about that.
I knew this was coming, and I tried to pay attention, and I still didn't get it. I feel like I remember seeing Lindsay in some type of like jean fit, but that's not even like, wow, what a fit. It's just like not athletic clothes.
Not athletic clothes that we wear to the active challenge. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like. I think Holly had some cool leggings on, maybe. If I'm correct.
I think I'm rocking with Jemiah's glasses. I think that it's a look and he pulls it off. So I don't know. It's the best I can do.
I'm gonna rock with some self-love. I'm gonna say I look terrific this episode.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I liked my idea for the neck bandana this time instead of on my head. I like it on my neck sometimes.
Yeah, something different.
Switch it up. Something for the summertime.
Madison's Madison just commented definitely Jemiah's jeans. Correct.
Jemiah wears jeans to every challenge.
All right,
Yeah,
when I played, we had someone wear pants the first day, and we just couldn't believe it. It was awesome. I played the same time that the season's going on, and who wears pants in August, like to a Survivor challenge?
Well, the first challenge of the season, Jemiah showed up in jeans when they ran across the entire Canada.
Well, it's definitely Derek Rosen and Jemiah Wong are two people who will always support.
Jean icons. Jean icons forever.
All right, now for our last segment, give me your guys' winner picks. Who's taking it to the end, and why is it me?
You know, Mike, you were on my fantasy team for this season, and I was rooting for you. You were my like winner pick, I think.
Thank you.
So I might have to go with you. Just stick with my. I'll go with Mike.
Ooh, I see. I'm not going to go with Mike because he's got the returner label on him, and that doesn't do it for me. I think I'm going to keep it going with. I mentioned it with mine. I think I like Carl's position. I like where he's at with his tribe. He doesn't seem too overboard, but he also seems aware. So that's to me, that's a making of a potential winner. So I'll go with Carl.
Also, Cass. Okay, I'll say Mike and Cass because Cass got the narcs. She's in a good position on her tribe. I think she's doing well right now.
Yeah, no, I agree with that too. I mean, she's got that good position. And
the 3 narcs
again. Yeah, and she seems the least overbearing, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, I think out of the 3 narcs, Holly might be doing the worst, just in terms of like, I don't know, the body tribe.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see much of her this week just because body won, but yeah.
All right, and with that, I'll give you guys each a moment to shout yourselves out, give yourselves a platform. Ethan, we'll start with you.
Okay, cool. Should I just like talk about myself? Is that what goes on now? What's up, guys? I go to University of Maryland. I played Survivor Maryland season 15. You'll see it on YouTube in 3 to 20 years. So be patient. It's coming. And then I am slated to be host this coming fall and spring for season 17 and 18. So it should be a fun time. Shout out to my Syrvivor Maryland peeps. Shout out to my guy, Ben Dross at Syracuse for helping me get on here. And shout out to you guys, Mel and Mike, for having me. Thanks.
Lovely having you here. Congrats on the hosting job. Can't wait to watch you play and host. That'll be exciting.
Yeah, just take your time. You might be a little older. We'll see.
I'll still watch. I'm never going to get tired of Survivor. All right,
good.
Yeah, I don't know. I just graduated from Syracuse. Shout out Syrvivor Syracuse. Yeah, former VP out here. I don't really know what to say about myself. I'm just out here trying to make some shmoney, make some
Plug
moolah.
your socials.
What?
Plug your socials.
Oh, my socials. All right. Instagram is Mel_Alba10. Twitter is at MelAlbanese2. Those are the only 2 that really hit me up on LinkedIn if you want. You got some music industry connects. I'm trying to make those, you know. I don't know what my arms are doing right now, but I love Survivor community. Yay, heart. That's it.
Yep. Also, sorry to people who are watching now or in the future. I left Madison's comment about Jemiah's jeans up there for a good 5 minutes. I'm still
I love that.
Sorry about that, but great post show. Thank you guys for coming on. We air next week, same time, Thursday, 7 p.m. Post show will follow 9 p.m. Exciting episode. Tune in.
Thanks for hosting, Mike.
Yeah, thanks, Mike.
This was really fun. I love this.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Sign me up for more. Yeah, sign me up for more for sure.
Love to.
All right. See y'all.
Yeah, peace out.